How's it going, everybody? I am Donut, as always. This is a Black Lives Matter, all cops are bastards, and trans rights supporting channel. If you're not supporting that shit, get the fuck off this channel. We are watching Saint Seiya, Movie 3, Legend of Crimson Youth. This one, like all the others, was a bitch to fucking find. My god, this is a hard-ass movie to find with English subs and all that. Whew, it's a long one, but we finally found a version of it that seems to be good, seems to be good quality, have English subs that are timed correctly, so finally got a copy. I don't know shit about God and pantheons, to be able to guess anything about like what the next god's gonna be. It's not gonna be interesting. But Legend of Crimson Youth, we don't have a god in the name of the movie this time, or something similar. Legend of Crimson Youth, I would assume, is just talking about our saints. This is also the first one that's, an actual, like, movie-length movie, an hour and 14 minutes. This one's actually a movie, so not just like a 30-minute little thing. This one will actually have, like, a, decent plot. This, the other one was, like, Saint Seiya the movie, but this one is, none of them were called Saint Seiya the movie, right? Maybe some of them were, or like in English or something like that was the title. But either way, this one is the one that's the proper movie. So I think that's also why it's Legend of Crimson Youth. And yes, there's going to be, obviously a god and a pantheon here as well. But we're going to be focusing more on our characters that we already have and like, just interesting stories with them rather than like, the past movies, which has just been more of like, here's more of the same, So that's my guess. Let's just get into this one. Okay, that was Legend of Crimson Youth, which I do gotta say, I think it's my least favorite out of the movies so far. I think my favorite is the Asgard one, and I think this is my least favorite. I think the Eris one, is after Asgard. It, despite being 3 times as long, didn't really do much with that time that it had. And it had a lot of interesting stuff going for it. Athena's brother, bringing back some Gold Saints. Both those are a genius idea for this movie. And, they were still really good ideas, but they could have done a lot more with them for sure. Especially the Gold Saints. I do like what we got with the Gold Saints, but, I definitely wanted more. There's not really a problem I have with anything that the movie did, more just that, like, for the runtime it had, I wish we got more. That's really it. Not they shouldn't have done X, but we should have gotten more of Y. Also, so the names in the subs that I was watching were like the Japanese names of the characters and stuff like that. So here's the actual names of the Abel's saints, who are called the Corona Saints. Also, instead of saying Abel is the god of the sun, we're saying he's the god of the corona of the sun. But either way, so his 3 Corona Saints was Karina Atlas, Lynx Yaw, and Coma Berenices Belenique, or something like that. I'm not sure how you pronounce that one. But yeah, so those were the actual names instead of like, whatever the fuck it was, like Karina no Atarasu. It's Karina Atlas, Lynx Yaw, Coma Berenices Belenique. I'm not sure how that one's pronounced. Okay, so it's a portmanteau of the French word belle for beauty, and then the Greek name Berenice. So, Belenique, I think is how that would be. So, Coma Berenices Belenique would be that one. But yeah, of them, I don't really think they were interesting at all. I'm not going to really remember any of them. Atlas, maybe, but even then, I don't think so. These guys were really nothing to write home about, This movie in general really felt like it was riding on the... you've seen so many Saint Seiya arcs, we're just going to kind of do that, and you're just going to watch it and like it because it is that. It's the formula that you like. Instead of, like, making the characters interesting, giving them, unique enough powers or anything like that. And so, yeah, I do think the best part of this movie was the Gold Saint aspect of it, which, even then, again, could have been a lot better. And, like, even with the Gold Saints, like, Shura is probably the least interesting one out of all the Gold Saints, I think. And, so him just getting instantly killed, along with Camus. Not that, Camus, I understand why. We already did plenty with him. And, it's going to feel weird if Hyoga gets to interact with Camus again after this. It's just going to feel weird. So it makes sense to, like, okay, we'll bring him back, but we'll kill him again. And, he's one of the good ones, so he's going to, like, try and fight back and stuff. And now after his death, of course, Shura would as well. But not after his death, but after the fight with Shiryu in the Sanctuary, he's changed his mind and everything like that. But all that to say, Shura's still like the least interesting one by far, and this was a good opportunity to give him more not more personality, but what is he like now that he is a good guy? What is he like now that he has found his heart? I would have liked to have seen that, but we got to see that for 5 seconds. But I will say, I do really like what we did with Death Mask. I think Death Mask's addition to this, I didn't need more. I think that's the one thing where I'm satisfied with. I always want more, but I didn't need more with Death Mask. I think that was very satisfying what we did with that. And of course, Death Mask is going to side with Abel because he's fucking Death Mask. Are we really that surprised? And then Aphrodite as well. It's like, well, yeah, you're real evil as well. But also at the same time, it's like, once you learned that the events were not as you thought they were, the fact that you still didn't change and you're like, shit, I guess I was wrong. Oh well, fuck it, I'm going to become an evil keeper for Abel now. Like, what? Aphrodite's fucked. Aphrodite and Death Mask are like, okay, good thing we killed them. Good thing we killed them because you guys are just pure evil. Pure evil. But at least, also they are evil in an interesting way. They each have, for different reasons, why they just continue to go along with the most powerful person. Abel had a reason of like, oh, I'm going to, crush the humans and crush the world and, punish them all for the sins that they've committed. It's something, just like Zeus did, just like, we always have done in the past. It's something, but I don't think it's enough, to really, like, have him be sold as a good final bad guy or anything like that. Definitely a lot to be desired with Abel as well. Plenty to be desired there. I think, we could have sold it a lot more if we had shown more of, the corruption in the world, the sins in the world, and stuff like that, but we don't really do anything like that. I mean, we all know, of course, but you want to sell it for the movie as well, and we didn't get anything like that. The Bronze Saints being told, don't fight, if you try and fight, it's going to be treason and everything like that, getting super depressed. Really interesting idea, again, but the execution fell flat. This movie is 10 out of 10 ideas, 5 out of 10 execution. And yeah, I think that's the problem overall with the movie I have. Right, we had each of the saints went to the temple a different way for no reason other than to allow the plot to happen. Come up with a reason. It really is not that hard. You can very easily come up with a reason, but instead, we just got an insane random plot contrivance. I did like Abel wanting to use Hyoga for the ice coffin. Again, Death Mask and Hyoga were both used very, expertly in this movie, allowing using their powers and in line with the plot. I do Saga was very well utilized in this movie as well. At first I was like, what the fuck, Saga? Why are you? I thought we got through to you as well. But yeah, it was just he wanted to be able to raise Seiya's Cosmo and everything like that. So really loved what we did with Saga in this movie. Glad we got more of him. Just getting more of one of our final bad guys as just a dude we're gonna have to fight in this arc movie. Yeah, just genius idea. Love that. That was Death Mask and Saga. Really good execution there, actually. Also, yeah. So in my reaction, I would call that it's the gold tinted bronze cloths or whatever. But it definitely couldn't. It was just 100% the gold cloths. I was just remembering that's what we did last time. Poseidon arcs was that, and also Camus was killed, so where the fuck did that armor come from? But yeah, I think that's all I have to say. Again, I liked what we did with Athena as well, giving her a little bit more agency here, but I do think, the Poseidon arc did it the best, but also, I think Heated Bottle of Gods also did it very well as well. And yeah, I think that's about it. I think at least favorite movie had a lot of good stuff in it. Don't get me wrong, but I think the execution could have been a lot better. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's see. Did I like the OST more? I think the OST might have been the best in the first movie, honestly. Then the second, then this third one. I don't know. It's tough. It's not that far off. They're pretty close. They're pretty comparable, honestly. So I'm not sure if I would really rank them in any meaningful way. But also, this one didn't have the opening. The other one had like the openings, but this one didn't because it was a theatrical movie. I suppose they wanted to make it, more of a vibe and stuff like that. And there was a lot of vibe in this movie, but also there was a lot of lazy animation. But there was also a lot of good animation too. To be fair, I had both. But that's all I got to say. I'll see you guys for the next movie because we got one more movie to do before we get into the next arc. So I'll see you guys for that next movie. Till then, get the fuck out of here.